Hi, my name is Patrick. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use AI to set up a personal website for myself. Now, I have not started working on this, so let's get started on it right now. I'm going to start by looking up great personal websites. Great personal websites. All right, let's take a look and see what we've got. Let's see, my favorite personal website. We're going to go to this guy's blog post and all right. Let's see. Let's find one that we think is cool. Not loving those. Let's see. With tons of personality. I don't know if I'm ready for tons of personality. Let's see. This is personal website templates. No, thank you. 8 unique personal website examples to inspire your own. All right, let's take a look. That looks fine. I mean, I'm not that handsome, so I don't think that one's going to work out. I'm not that beautiful. Again, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Creative direction. I'm not a creative person. Let's see. What do I do? I'm a technical founder, so let's see. My name is Anna, and I love illustration and design. That's great. Hello. I mean, I'm not a photographer, so let's see. I'm not a speaker. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not very bold. Let's go with generic personal websites. Still working on developing my personal brand, so let's check this out. Yeah, I mean, that one's a little bit more simple. I don't do food. I'd be okay with something like this. But again, it's just a personal website. Let's see. I wouldn't mind getting hired as a speaker. Let's see. Speaker website for personal websites for people with no experience. All right, let's see how that goes. All right, 25 speaker websites that'll blow your mind. Yeah, I mean, I can speak on AI. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that one looks okay. I'm okay with having a picture of me, an AI generated picture of me that looks like a speaker. That'd be fine. Let's see. Let's see. This is going to be a hard decision, so it's probably a little bit annoying, but let's go ahead and, I have a friend. He's a speaker. I think this is the name of his website. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty AI generated website. But it's not his personal website. I'm going to press pause while I do a little bit more perusing. All right, we're back, and I think that I found the perfect website. So I want to model it just after this guy, but I think I would like to, let's see, read my story.
Hey, I'm Gary. I turn niche technology communities into mainstream movement.
I mean, that's pretty cool. He's doing a really good storytelling. Okay. I like this. I like this. Okay, yeah. Let's go with something like this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to VS Code and I'm going to use Claude Code to create this website. So I am going to go ahead and just create in my repos folder a, let's see, Pat personal site. Okay. Thankfully, I do own patrickneyland.com. Let's go ahead and open up this one in VS Code. So in VS Code, I'll go ahead and create a new window. And I will go ahead and I will open a folder and we'll go to Pat's personal website. All right, perfect. I'm going to create a Claude Code chat, and I'm going to say, I would like to create a personal website for myself, Patrick Neyland, and I want to position myself as an AI leader a little bit. I want to follow this specific website as an example. My company website is neylandsolutions.com. I'll also link to that. I wouldn't mind having some branding overlap with my website, but I want to tell a story about myself on my homepage, on my personal website, and also I just have examples to stuff that I built that also showcases some of the services of Neyland Solutions. So let's go ahead and plan that. All right, so we have the GarySheng.com, and then we'll have NeylandSolutions.com. And then I'm going to say something like, I would like this to be a workspace for me to collaboratively build with Claude. So make sure there is a claude.md file. And I want to have consistent branding. So make sure there is a design.md file that captures the typography, color, branding, and then an assets folder with logos and pictures of me and stuff. So go ahead and plan this with me. All right, I'm using Whisper Flow, so I don't have to type all this out, but I'll go ahead and I will just press go for it. All right, so now what it's doing is it's thinking about, hey, this is what Patrick wants to do. This is what Pat's website's going to look like. And I'm really excited to see what it comes up with. Now, I want to be clear. It's not as good of a web designer as, say, actual real life professional web designers. But what I can do is I can improve this file's web design skills. And I'm going to do that by coming over here to my repos. And there is something called a front end design skill. Okay. And that is a skill from Anthropic. And it is right here. So I'm just going to copy this. And while it's talking, I'm going to host this page on Vercel, but it's going to be hosted, like the code is going to be hosted on GitHub, but the website's going to be displayed by Vercel. And I would also like to add this front-end design skill that you see in this folder as a reference for how to do front-end design. My story. I started out as an accounting undergrad. I did my master's in financial economics, where halfway through the semester, ChatGPT came out and I was hooked on AI and what it could do. I started my PhD in accounting to do accounting research, and I started researching how is AI affecting the accounting profession. And it turns out there's not a lot of good data because of how new AI is. And so I was also working with the Arizona Department of Revenue, and I said, hey, how are you guys using AI? And they said, we just don't have the bandwidth to implement AI into our operations right now. So I said, well, shoot, I can't research what I want to research very easily. Why don't I help companies and institutions like Arizona Department of Revenue? Why don't I help them figure out AI so that they can just do better work? That is the start. And yeah, go ahead and create the assets file. I will add stuff to it. You don't need to closely follow the color preferences on Neyland Solutions palette. I like kind of the unique design of the website of that other guy that I said, what's his name, of Gary Sheng. All right, make your plan. All right, so now it's going and creating a plan. And then at the end of this plan, we will go ahead and tell it to run. We'll tell it to launch. I'm going to press pause because it's going to be thinking for a little while. All right, so it's doing some really cool things right now. It's going to update the to-do, so it's going to create a claude.md workspace file. That's the file that it's specifically, I'm using Claude right now, but you can use Codex, and it can just be called agent.md if you're using any service. But I'm in Claude. That's what I've been using lately, so that's what I'm going to do. It's going to create a design MD with typography, color, branding system. It's going to create assets and folder with placeholder README, and then it's also going to save the user memory for Patrick's story and project context. So when I went ahead and spoke about my story to it, it captured all of that and is putting it in a memory file. So right now it's going through that to-do list. All right. Let's go ahead and it's asking me for some information. Okay. So it is asking about scaffolding. So I'm going to give it my go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Now, projects that I have built. I have built entire AI ecosystems for marketing agencies. I've built web applications for a marketing agency and for um, a couple of personal projects like AI, like an AI family history letters. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's Your Family Stories. An app that lets the user communicate about a history or memory that they have, and then it automatically generates stories that they can, cherish about family history. And then I also created lead magnets. So AI generated lead magnets for businesses to generate more business. Those are 3 examples. The examples of the AI lead magnets are there is exterior renovation, an exterior renovation house renderer, so people can hop on the exterior contractor's website and see what their house would look like if they hired them. Our personal lead magnet is the AI opportunity starter kit. So a company just fills out a little bit of information and then about their company, and then we send it to AI and it generates this really cool polished report. And assets. Yes, I will go ahead and drop the assets. All right, let me grab those assets really fast. Let's see, we have that over here. Okay, assets, headshots. All right. We have that headshot. That looks just like me. That is me. And then we have brand profile. No, okay, then logos. Then we'll go with, these are my 4 logos from the company website. And I'll say, let's see. The assets are in the asset folder. Okay. So now it's building it. And I'll go ahead and press pause again. It is coming along. Don't want this video to be too long, but it's just going through and it's, hey, you got these pictures. Let me take a look at them. And we have our design folder. I think I want a far more simple design folder, but we'll let it do its thing. All right, I was just catching up on chess moves on my phone, and it looks like it's ready to go. So it's telling me to run npm run.dev, and then it'll open it, and I'm just going to say, go ahead and run it and show me locally. Okay, it's doing the stuff. Okay, it's running on port 3002. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's see what it looks like. I hope it's, I don't know, we'll see. All right. I mean, that's pretty good. So if I say read my story, I majored in accounting because I understood the world through spreadsheets and ledgers. It's pretty rough copy. But then ChatGPT launched, everything changed. I started my PhD to research it and hit a wall. Conversation at the Arizona Department of Revenue, so I decided to fill the gap. Looks like I could be a little bit more comprehensive there. The AI Opportunity Starter Kit, Exterior Home Renderer, Your Family Stories, full AI ecosystems for marketing agencies. This is the company I built to do this work. Visit Neyland Solutions. No way. It's going to go to neylandsolutions.com. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Okay. And then let's get in touch. So there's Pat at NeylandSolutions.com, LinkedIn, Patrick Neyland, and Lisa. Oh my word, that's pretty comprehensive. I help companies and institutions implement AI so they can do better work without needing to become AI researchers themselves. This is really, really solid. Okay. I want to make a change. Some of this is AI generated, so there are M dashes in it. So I have this file that I like to use, and it's basically just a collection of a bunch of AI generated text that is really AI sounding, and that I can use an example to say, hey, don't make it sound like this. All right, I grabbed the file. Here's how we're going to edit it. So I'm going to add this file. This is the AI writing detection. So words, phrases, and patterns that reliably mark text as AI generated. Every item below is a hard prohibition. None of these may appear in a finished post. So I'm going to say, some of the copy on my website is a little bit AI generated sounding, and I want to get rid of all of the M dashes specifically. Please take a look at the AI writing detection MD and add that to the design or Claude MD, add the important stuff for the website, and regenerate the text. All right, so now I started a new context, right? The first one was build the website. Now, for changes that I want to make, this is how we do it. So it's going to go through and it says, let me read the relevant information first. It found that specific one. All right, it's reading the AI writing detection MD. We're going to try to keep this video around 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and press pause. The next thing we're going to do, because I'm pleased with where it's at, I can tweak it a little bit more because I think my voice in how I talk about things and how I want to present myself on my personal page, I think I want the copy to be a little bit more personalized. So I can just go in and say, hey, I want to change this. This should be the first part of my story, and this should be the first part of my story. And as I was speaking, just kind of ad hoc right here, I didn't talk about my family or about my values. And I think that there are cooler projects that I've worked on that I couldn't come up with on the spot. So I'll go ahead and make those tweaks, but I can do all of that right here. I can just say, hey, I want to change the story to be more in my voice. Have a conversation with me so that we can better define my writing style, and let's outline the more important details of the story. And it would do it, because I can edit my entire website just with natural language. So when it is done doing this, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I can just start a new chat. I'm going to say, all right, go ahead and create a new GitHub repository and just push to my GitHub account, Pat, and you can call it Pat Personal Site. Okay, we'll change this to bypass permissions. I'll go ahead and press pause while it's doing that. All right, it just said the repo is live at Pat Neyland, which is my GitHub account. I've already signed into GitHub through VS Code, so it's no problem. But all right, it's ready to go. And let's see, it's still working on these changes. So I'm gonna say, okay, commit and push these changes. All right, now I'm going to go to Vercel. That's where I like to host these types of websites. And we're going to say add new project, and we are going to say from GitHub, and we can see Pat Personal Site. We're going to import it, and yep, that all looks good. And we're going to deploy, and this is going to be Pat Personal Site. Now the deployment started 4 seconds ago. Now it's building. Now, again, this is all taking a matter of 20 minutes to go from, I don't have to go through some WordPress or host site thing. I just have a GitHub account. I have Claude Code in VS Code, and then I have my Vercel account, which I'm on the hobby version. I think that could be free. It could be $5 a month. As my website gets bigger and I host more websites, I'll probably need to upgrade, but gosh, this is so fast and so easy. All right, let's see what's going on back here on VS Code. All right, it's still working through that. So once it gets through this iteration, all I have to say to make sure all the changes are on the live website that's hosted on Vercel, I just say, hey, go ahead and commit and push these changes. And it's pushing that to my GitHub. So I'll pull up, congratulations, you just deployed a new project. All right, so gosh, let's go look at it. This is Pat, personal website, Vercel.app. Now, all I need to do is add my patrickneyland.com, and gosh, we're good. But that's how you make a personal website in 20 minutes using VS Code. Well, really just using AI. You found an example of one that I like. It's as easy as that, and editing it is just as easy. Let me know if you have any questions. Ooh, we're not quite over yet. I have some bonus footage here. I just realized I'm uploading this to YouTube. I need a thumbnail for it. So I have a thumbnail generator skill. And I'm going to say, hey, I want to create a thumbnail for a video that I just created. It is me showing how to create a personal website with AI. Come up with something that is relatively understated, but shows me pretty excited about AI building websites, and anyone can do it. I used VS Code and Claude. Maybe you could add those thumbnails as well. I didn't mean thumbnails, I meant logos. Say logos. Okay, so it's going to go ahead and create those thumbnails. And it's going to go ahead and create a description, but it's not going to create a very good description. This skill is not refined on that description part, but what we can do is we can go ahead and edit the skill if we wanted to, but I'm going to leave that for another video. This is, all right, it's generating. So we can see I have in my thumbnail generator, there are scripts and there's this generate thumbnail py. So this is a Python file that creates a solid thumbnail using Nano Banana. And it's just sending it. So here's the image. We're going to use a circle image. So I have assets up here. It's going to use my brand. It's going to use, headshots. It's going to use this. It's going to use this image in it so that it knows what I look like. And it is going to create a clean, understated YouTube thumbnail for a video about building a personal website with AI. So it created the prompt based on my feedback, and now it is going in and creating them. And it's generating them now. Now we have the output. It's done. We have these ones right here. All right, build your website with AI. We have these two things. I mean, that's not bad. That's pretty good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to press pause. Make it more eye-catching and have some bold colors. Oh, don't overdo it on this comment, but let's make them slightly more exciting, slightly more eye-catching. Maybe we can phrase this as, "Hey, make money with websites." I don't know. Maybe run this twice and come up with some 2 iterations that have money in them. All right, I'm gonna press pause while those generate. It might be time to update these skills. These ones are a little bit cheesy. Actually, I like this one. Chunky, your website, your income. That's not good. Your website, your income. Maybe a little bit too enthusiastic. Now create 2 more that are not about money, but still a little bit bold. Okay. I guess I could better define my brand. I'll find some good YouTube thumbnails that I can add to this thumbnail generator. So we have scripts, but we can also have references. We can just have a folder of like 20 or 30 thumbnails that are really high performing on YouTube. And we can say, each time you generate one of these, use one of these as a reference material to create it. Right now, it's just using average from YouTube, and they aren't great. So now that I'm doing that, I'll definitely update the skill after this video. But it went ahead and it created all of those additional ones. And for creating those 4 thumbnails, it cost 35 cents. Just because it's using that Gemini, the Nano Banana API, and that's how much this stuff costs. So, all right, let's see how we're doing. All right, I actually think I like this one. I built this with AI in 1 hour. Okay, I like this one. I built it in 20 minutes, but whatever. All right. I built this with AI. Okay, yeah, actually, I like that one. That's the one we'll use. Unless it's creating more, but I think it's done. All right, I'll go ahead and post this to YouTube. Thanks, guys.